So today I am here finishing up a workout in our gym, in our building. I guess you can call this a gym. It just has like 3 pieces of equipment. It has this little thing right here. Over here has a treadmill, and then right there has like a little Stairmaster, and then a few other weights and things like that. So, but while I was over here, I was walking on a treadmill. Typically I come up here to walk on a treadmill because I need to get my cardio up. A lot of my daily routine, I'm sitting down, and I can tell when I'm gaining weight because I can see it in my face, and I feel like my face is getting a little bit chubby. So we got to fix that with a little walking and some cardio. But I also do go to the gym, as you know, but in that gym, we don't do a lot of cardio. We do a lot of weightlifting and things like that. So I like to do cardio because cardio helps me slim down. But while I was here in the gym, I thought about this topic because, as you know, we all know the results of the election as of right now. If you don't, you've been hiding under a rock. And we all know that Donald Trump won the election and Kamala Harris lost the election. And what does that mean for you? And my answer to that is absolutely nothing. Because I've been seeing online where people who voted for Donald Trump said, oh yeah, we won. And the people who voted for Kamala Harris are sobbing, talking about, oh, we lost. But I'm here to break it down to you and give you some bad news. Those who voted for Donald Trump, you didn't win a damn thing. Donald Trump won. And the people who he's going to select to be in his cabinet and around him, those people won. You didn't win anything. I guarantee you in the next 4 years, you will not get a Donald Trump prize in the mail. Same goes for Kamala Harris. She lost the election, you didn't. And you will not get a Kamala Harris participation prize in the mail either. And I say that vice versa. If you were to vote, if Kamala Harris would have won and you voted for Kamala Harris, then trust me, you wouldn't have won, she would have won. Same thing with Trump. If he had a loss, you wouldn't have lost, he would have lost. Too many times we put too much emphasis on who is occupying the Oval Office, when in fact, who's in the Oval Office has little to nothing to do with the outcome of your life. Now, do I believe that certain policies that whoever's in the office can have some type of effect on your life? Of course, because policy does matter. But is it going to have such an effect where it's going to determine whether you're a success or a failure? Absolutely not. And if you believe that, then you're delusional, because it will not. And I can't understand the passion that people have about politics to a certain degree, because politics can determine the trajectory of a country and which direction it goes. So I get it. But what I don't get is when we're overly invested in something that really has a very small effect on the outcome of our lives. Donald Trump won his election. Kamala Harris lost her election. So my question to you is, are you gonna win your election, or are you gonna lose your election? Are you the person that your friends or your family will elect you to lead them in any situation? Do you embody the qualities of a leader to uplift those around you and help them get to the next level? And what do I mean by that? What I mean is, when we elect local leaders, whether it's a president, mayors, governors, and even CEOs of companies, there are certain qualities that we expect our leaders to have. And some of the most important qualities I want to talk about, and one of them is integrity. It's a fundamental quality of an effective leader. I tell my daughter all the time, integrity to me means not what you do when people are watching, it's what you do when people aren't watching. That's a form of integrity. Do you have enough integrity to be consistent with your decisions, your actions, and your values? And having integrity inspires others around you. It ensures that your words align with your actions, and this creates trust and credibility amongst the people around you. The next characteristic that will help your campaign is self-awareness. So what is self-awareness? It's the ability for you to recognize and understand your own weaknesses, your own strengths, your emotions, and your motivations. When you're self-aware, you make informed decisions. You're aware that your behavior can affect everyone around you. And to me, self-awareness is one of these characteristics that a lot of people lack. They can point out the good and bad in others, but they neglect to reflect on their behavior to see how their actions are affecting the whole. And the next characteristic is resilience. And I believe that is one of my strongest characteristics, I believe, as a leader, is my resilience. This is the ability to bounce back from setbacks and adjust to ever-changing circumstances, no matter what. You guys know my story. You've seen my ups, you've seen my downs. Whether you may not have seen them, but you've heard about them. I've talked about them, I showed them. We all have these peaks and valleys. And the key is, when you're knocked down, get your ass up. Get back up, figure it out, and keep moving forward. That is resilience. If you don't have resilience, you are not an effective leader. Your campaign is dead on arrival. So remember, resilience. Another characteristic is active listening. This one too, I think, is one of my strongest strengths as a leader, is my active listening skills. And what I tell people all the time, hearing and listening is two different things. Also, listening and listening to understand is two different things. And me, I'd rather be the person listening to understand than actually be the person doing the talking. Because I love to retain and receive information. When it's good information, of course. I'm not listening to anybody talking their bullshit. But when it's really good information, I love to sit there and soak up the information. And practicing active listening is very hard to a lot of people. They only listen to respond. They're not listening to understand. They just have to get their response in. And the next characteristic, I think, is creativity. And this is a soft skill that I think is in short supply. And to me, this is a skill that you either have or you don't. This is not one that you can just cultivate easily. Now, some people can, but most of the time, either you have it or you don't. And most leaders that are creative, they blaze their own trail. They're never following the path that's set by someone else in order to determine their success. Instead, they embrace new ways of thinking and strategies that other people are scared to try. And the next one is vision. All great leaders have a vision. If you don't have a vision, you're not gonna be a great leader. And great leaders have a clear vision of what they want to achieve and what the necessary steps they need to take to get there. And they know how to articulate this vision in such a way where it's motivational and inspiring to others to follow their lead. And my advice to you, to be a leader, you need to start with a vision, and then you build on top of that. And the next characteristic is good decision making. A good leader makes a decision and stands behind it with no hesitation. Now, I'm not saying that they think irrational about the decision. No, they think long and hard about the decision first, but once that decision is made, they stand by it. That makes a good leader. And when you're a good leader, you're not afraid to make tough choices. You understand the importance of taking actions. And the next one I would talk about is respect. And I think that one is pretty self-explanatory. We understand that in order to get respect, we have to give respect. And as a leader, we must respect the individuals or the people who are around us. And the last one I will talk about is accountability. This is one that everybody knows, but it's kryptonite to a lot of people. For some reason, they cannot accept accountability. They want others to accept accountability, but they don't want to accept accountability. And as a leader, you must be able to take the praise when it's warranted, and you also need to take the criticism when it's warranted too. That's accountability. So guys, these are some of the characteristics that I feel that we should embody as we set out to be leaders. Now, it is more characteristics, but to me, these are some of the top ones that I expect in a leader. So you got to ask yourself, if you want to be elected by your friends, by your community, by your family, do you embody these characteristics? And if you want to win your election, then you need to work on these characteristics. If you want to lose your election, then you can just forget about all of them. But let's be clear. What happened on November the 5th, whether your candidate won or whether your candidate lost, has little to do with the outcome of your life. And my goal is to continue to run my campaign and build on these characteristics so I can stay in office. Because on November the 5th, I was elected. My wife and my daughter elected me to govern them and lead them to the next level. So until then, remember, always keep your goals at the forefront of your mind. Always live in the present, because that's the only way you're gonna live your best life. And I'm out. Peace.
Je begon aan mijn best life, yeah. Je begon aan mijn best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. Je begon aan mijn best life, yeah. Jumping, flexing,